It was just about a year ago that I talked to you about our plans for 1964. I told you at that time about what the 1964 profit plan was going to be and what our programs in the Transportation Division were to accomplish that profit plan. Today, I'm very happy to be able to be back with you again. And I'd like to tell you again that 1964 was an outstanding year. It was much better than we had planned. It has been the best year in the history of TWA. We've made a profit of a little over $37 million. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your part in making that achievement possible. Many things have happened to us during 1964. In fact, during the last 4 years. I'm sure all of you are aware that TWA has made tremendous strides during this period. We have new facilities. We have new equipment. And at the present time, TWA is the leader in the airline industry. Our performance in '64 has made us the target of all of our competitors. They're now shooting for us. They're trying to duplicate many of the services and innovations that we have put into our service on TWA. The other airlines are finally putting movies on, as we have had for many years. They're putting China and Crystal on their first-class service flights. They have recognized that the things that we have done to improve our performance over the years are good things, and they're trying to duplicate them. For that reason, 1965 is a year that is going to be even a bigger challenge than the year 1964. Today, members of my staff are going to tell you a little bit about their plans for 1965. Bob Mueller, our Vice President of Flight Operations, is going to tell you about the technological end of our business. Following Mr. Mueller, we have a presentation that I think you will enjoy seeing. It's a short film clip of TWA's participation in the United States effort at Mila, at Cape Kennedy, the shot to the moon. Tom Huntington, our Vice President of Special Services, will be telling you about TWA's participation in this effort. I'm sure that most of you are not familiar with the magnitude of the moonshot effort, and more particularly about TWA's participation in the moonshot effort. I hope you'll enjoy it. Following that, John Harrington, our Vice President of Customer Service, and his staff will be telling you about their plans and programs for the year 1965 in improving our product even over and above what it was in '64. Manufacturing the product is only a part of the task that we in TWA have to do. We in transportation are charged with the responsibility of manufacturing that product. The marketing division has the responsibility for selling it. And last but not least, we have this morning for you a film prepared by the marketing division telling you about their plans to sell the product that you and I produce. That film is entitled "The Word Is Out." After the presentation, I'd like to be back again and tell you a little bit about my own personal views about our obligations and responsibility for '65. Thank you, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, there you have it. Transportation Division's objectives and plans for 1965, and the Marketing Division's programs for selling the product in 1965. I think you will agree with me that the closing remarks of Mr. Dunn and Mr. Tillinghast are appropriate for the conclusion of this meeting. 1965 presents a challenge to all of us in TWA, and particularly to those of us in the Transportation Division. We must produce a better product this year than ever before. The competition is aiming at TWA and not at each other. The surveys that Mr. Harrington spoke about tell us that the biggest area for improvement in TWA is in personnel performance. They also tell us that we are coldly efficient, that you are well trained, and that you do your job well. I'm sure, however, that you're not satisfied with being considered coldly efficient. For that reason, in 1965, our number one objective is to become an airline that is customer-oriented. We're developing training programs with that in mind. You've been told about the programs that we plan to use in the station training effort to produce a customer-oriented product. You have done your job well over the years. I know that you're going to join with me in achieving our objective in 1965 by becoming a customer-oriented employee. If we achieve that objective, we will truly be the world's number one airline in the minds of the frequent traveler. This will improve our profit and loss statement. It will provide even more and better benefits for all of us. I'm looking forward to 1965 and being back with you again this time next year. I would look forward to being able to tell you at that time that between us we have accomplished our objective. I thank you very much for being here. I've enjoyed visiting with you again, and now I'd like to turn the meeting back over to your local supervision and your district transportation manager. Thank you very much for being with us today.